the job of a board of directors is not to push the company to avoid risk or to eliminate risk. I think that's the wrong approach towards risk. Often we think about risk as anything that negatively pushes us away from our objectives. But then again, I think that's a bit of a skewed way of looking at risk. The way I seem to see risk is that risk is pretty much anything that has an unplanned outcome towards our objectives or our strategy. Now, if you look at risk that way, as an unplanned outcome towards our objectives and our strategies, then you begin to realize that you can see risk as anything that can actually bring unplanned opportunities, just as they can bring unplanned negative impact. And it's in seeing risk in that manner that allows you to shift, the mindset away from how do we avoid risk or how do we totally eliminate risk, to a position where you can now say, actually, because it can bring negative as well as positive, impact on our processes or on our strategies, then the question should be, how can we manage risk that is in a way advantageous to us? And I think that is the way we all should be looking at risk. Now, often when you talk to consultants, they will say to you, well, if you're dealing with risk, you need to build a risk register. And there is absolutely everything beautiful about risk registers. I have recommended them in the past. I mean, they're a very structured approach to understanding what risks are crystallizing at any point in time, what the likely impacts could be from those risks when they do crystallize, and what we should be doing in preparation for those risks should they crystallize. The only difficulty about having and depending solely on risk registers is that risks don't always crystallize in reality the way you plan for them several months or years in the past. And so I kind of advise people and say, look, there are three ways you can go around ensuring that you manage risk properly. Very quickly, one, ensure that as a board, you are constantly talking about risk. You are constantly engaging around what are the technological issues occurring, what are the political issues occurring, what are the industry issues, finance issues occurring that may derail us from our strategy. So that conversation constantly needs to be happening at board level around risk. Secondly, you should be aiming to create an organization where risk is not just something that is considered at the board level. It should be something that is considered also at the floor level, so that if risk doesn't crystallize at the board level, it will crystallize somewhere else. Somebody else somewhere in the organization can still bring it to your organization. And so I think it is a critical thing that the whole organization should be risk savvy. That's the way I say it. That's the second thing. And the third arm to that is ensuring that as an organization, you are a lot more flexible, a lot more adaptable, a lot more agile in your operations, so that you can better and easily adapt to risk, whether it's positive or negative. You can easily adapt when they actually do happen. And if you can focus on these three things, I think generally you should be in a better position to manage risk as and when they happen. Or even if you intend to just basically estimate how they will happen.